Hey guys, what's going on? I'm in my bedroom, I guess. So, I just wanted to say that I just got out of the shower, so I am like a little messy and like not well done yet. What am I, a steak? I'm not well done. I wanted to thank Mr. QB Tree Root and Mr. Justified because they filled in for us this week. You guys are always great. Justin, you are a mess. You so much diva going on in every ounce of breath and air and spoken word that you say. It's just so funny. I wanted to take the opportunity that this is vlog week to talk about something that I've been feeling a little bit, and that's it has to do with the movie Milk that I just saw a couple of days ago. Now I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it kind of impacted me in a kind of powerful way because here is this man. First of all, Harvey Milk was this man who was like a leader in the gay civil rights of the 70s and I think the 60s. And basically, the rights that gay people have of having jobs, of doing whatever we can, of being proud, of just saying it, of just going anywhere and wearing what we want and saying what we want, acting how we want, owning businesses, getting jobs as whatever, is thanks to this man, essentially, because he was at the forefront. Um, there's so much I want to say. I'm angry after watching this movie because this is a man who was killed. He was a civil rights leader for the gay community, but he was killed as a governor in the United States by another governor in the state of California. He wasn't killed by some homophobe. Well, he actually wasn't. He might have been, but he was a legit person who works for the government of California who killed him. And nobody knows about this event. I certainly didn't know. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that most people don't know. The majority of people don't know that this happened. And the first thing that came to mind after watching this movie is we all know about Abraham Lincoln and how he was shot to death. And we all know about Martin Luther King and his civil leadership and how he was killed to death and how it's all over the history books because it's important, obviously. I'm not negating that. But how come this person, Harvey Milk, and how he was shot to death, he was a martyr, led the gay civil rights movement, and he's nowhere to be found in the history books. Like, I don't even know what people in high school are being taught, to be quite honest, but I'm pretty sure they're not learning about Harvey Milk. And that upsets me. That upsets me because he was just... Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of frustrating and confusing because I feel like his life and more about this movement should have been included in what I learned in high school, especially for younger kids now. Like that would help the society not being so homophobic towards gay people. Like, don't you think? I mean, doesn't that make sense? If you learn about it, that means you know about it. The guy who killed him, Dan White, apparently got off after 6 years of prison when he was supposed to get like life in prison, and then he got out and then he like committed suicide. But that such frustrating things, and then that makes you think about the U.S. government, and it's like, how are you going to go into other countries and say, oh, you have a communist leader, and you have a drug war going on in your country, and you are doing nuclear weapons, and while in your country you've got people in your own government killing each other, and yet nobody knows about it. It's like, ugh, I hate that nobody knows about it because it's such an important part of history that nobody knows about. Do you get my frustration? You must watch Harvey Milk, the movie, because Sean Penn did an amazing job, and it kind of hit me the right way. Because I remember thinking how, like, when I was younger and having like my little shit jobs, like being working at a deli counter or whatever, and I would go in to apply, and I would see somewhere in the application that it said, we do not discriminate against race, gender, religion, or sexual orientation. And I was like, well, that's strange. Why would they say that? Who would discriminate against them? It's like, oh, well, wait a minute. In the 70s and 60s, I didn't have all these rights that I'm getting now because I'm gay. It's like, it's kind of a big deal that I kind of just went through watching this movie about how much they the gay community in San Francisco and New York had to go through in the 70s for us to have what we have today. And it reminded me of another thing when I was in Hawaii and living in a hostel. The guy who I lived with, he was a photographer. He must have been in like his 40s or 50s. And I remember him asking me one day if I had a girlfriend, and I said no, and I said I'm gay. And the way he responded to that to me was, he said it with such melancholy. Is that the word? Melancholy. And he just goes, "It's just so easy for you, isn't it?" And like it kind of struck me as weird, but like it's starting to make sense because it's like, duh, back then you couldn't say that to anyone, even if someone else was gay with you, because it's just the fear. And once again, I'm at 6 minutes, so I'm gonna stop. Sorry to take the vlog in that direction this week, but I figured that this was an appropriate forum for me to do it. So I'll see you guys next week. Peace and love, and yeah, bye.